I'm Dr. Adeline Tam. In this video, we are going to look at Unit 7, Financial Management and Accounting in the course Fundamentals of Entrepreneurial Acculturation. Let's look at the learning outcome. First, you need to understand the importance of financial management and accounting. You need to differentiate what is financial management than accounting. Second, you are able to interpret or understand the figures in the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. Third, recognize the financial sources and government support that help to develop the business, and know the use of AI in helping to understand the data. There are 5 subtopics in this unit. First is the importance of financial accounting. Second, the type of cost. Third, financial statement. Next, financial resources. And lastly, break-even point. So we are going to look at all these 5 topics. Alright, so let's look at what is business financial management. Financial management refers to the planning of financial resources in a company, which will plan the use and receive of money in order to achieve the maximum profit. So what are the importance of financial accounting? To analyze a company financial position so that we know whether the company have enough money to do what they plan to do, to ensure that they have enough financial resources during certain period of time. And next, to evaluate the success of the business financially. Number 4, help to generate the finance. Sometimes financial manager can help the company to generate more income to do their project. And last, assist in making decision of the company. When doing business, we have basically 3 objectives. First, to gain profit. Second, to make sure the business able to sustain for long term. And third, we hope that the business can grow better and have more business in future. So we have to make sure that the money that we use is of the good use. So first, we need some money to start our business. The money that we start our business is called capital. Right. How much capital is needed? It depends on 3 things. First, how much money you need to buy some assets such as tools, equipments, it may be cars or even a building, right? Second, it depends on the cost of goods sold. It means the cost to prepare the product or service for sale. So it might include raw materials, delivery costs, and other costs. Third, it will be the operating expenditure. It means the cost to pay for the electricity, logistic, promotion, and other costs. Besides that, we have to understand some costs will fix during certain period of time. For example, we fix for 1 whole year. For example, the salary, the insurance, the rental, normally it will fix for 1 whole year. But for some other costs like electricity bills, water bill, and raw material costs might change, because raw material costs, it depends on how much we want to sell every month, every week, or even every day. So there is one rule of thumb say that the fixed cost should be less than 30% of the total cost. And the fixed cost will always fix even though the sales volume increase. However, the variable cost will increase when the sales volume increase. Next, we are going to look at financial statement. So sometimes you might come across the word pro forma financial statement when you start to plan for a new business. So what is pro forma financial statement? It is a projected or just a forecast or a budget financial statement based on assumptions, how many quantity you think you can sell, able to sell during certain period of time. So this is prepared during the planning stage of a new business startup. While business who are in the process, they are preparing financial statement. Most of the companies are preparing financial statements. So the financial statement will record all the business activities financially and will prepare the financial report of a company. So normally we will prepare once a year the financial statements. So let's look at what are the different types of financial statements we have here. So we have three main types of financial statement. Income statement, which is focusing on reporting whether the company is making profit or loss. Next, balance sheet. It is actually a record of the assets, liability, and equity of a company. And last, the cash flow statement, which will show how much money received during a certain period of time, as well as how much money being spent, being used during a certain period of time. So pro forma financial statement also prepare these statements, but the pro forma financial statements are based on the budgeted figure only. And we have the format here you can refer to. Alright, I will show you how to prepare a simple financial statements using Excel. Alright, this is the data that I'm going to use to show you how to prepare a simple financial statement here. I have this template in my website, so you can refer to my website to download this template for your use. So let's look at the format for cash flow first. This is the format based on the actual statement, but this is the simplified one, simplified format. So normally we will type the company name here first. After that, we will put in the date, and in the title, we have to put down what statement is this. So for example, it's cash flow statement dated 31st December 2023. So we will start by looking at whether we have cash balance or not. Since this is a new company, we never do business before, and it means that we don't have any cash balance. So the cash balance will be 0 here. First of all, we record the cash flow operation. We will record the cash received from revenue. Revenue here refers to the sales of goods and services. So it's 950 ringgit I put here. Next, we record the cash that we paid. So refers to the data. We have altogether 6 items here. So I will record here. And there is a formula that helped me to do the counting later. So it's 280. So the total cash pay is 690 ringgit. Why you can see a minus sign? It means that I have to minus this from the revenue. So if your cost is lower, you can reduce the items here. Okay, you can reduce the item here. But if you have more cost than this, you can increase the items here also. So after that, you have to record the cash flow financial activities. In terms of cash received, that is the capital. The capital for this company is 1,000 ringgit, so I record here. So the total is 1,260. The total here is known as closing balance at 31st of December 2023. So remember this figure, we are going to use this figure later in the balance sheet. Next, we will prepare the income statement. Similarly, we are using the same data that I showed you just now. And then for the income statement, also we will start with the company name and the title of the statement. Income statement dated 31st December 2023. So again, we will put down the revenue here. So the revenue is 950 ringgit. I will put it here. And then first we will minus the cost of goods sold. So it refers to cost of preparing product for sale. So all the costs here refers to cost of raw materials, cost of things that we purchase to prepare the things for sale, and the cost of wages that prepare the thing for sale. So it will be 280 and 80 ringgit. So you can see I have prepared a formula here. So it means that after deduct the cost from the revenue, then I will get a gross profit of 590 ringgit here. Yeah, 590 ringgit. After that, I have to minus all the other expenses that I have paid earlier. That is the salary, the rental, the promotion, and transportation here. So you can see I have prepared another formula here, which already will total out the expenses and help me to deduct it. Alright, so I will get the final total. It will be 260 ringgit. It is the net profit that the company earned throughout the year. Yeah, of course, if you have less expenses, you can reduce the items here. Yeah, alright, so remember this figure, our net profit is 260 ringgit. Yeah, so next we are going to look at the balance sheet. So this is the format of the balance sheet. Similarly, we have the title of the company here. The title is Balance Sheet dated 31st December 2023. So we are using a format that we know as T format. You can see two major lines here represent, it looks like a T, so we go with the T format. So normally on the left side, we have assets. And the right side, we have liability and equities, two major components. So for fixed assets, since most of the time the company do not buy fixed assets, so the fixed asset will be zero. Fixed asset should be something that is fixed for, that you can use for a long term, like the building, tables, chairs, like computers. These are the fixed assets. And we should have variable assets such as cash. Alright, so where to find the cash? Remember the cash flow statement. Cash flow statement, we have the final cash balance. Alright, the final cash balance being the figure here. If you still remember just now, the cash balance is 1260. So the total for fixed asset and the total for assets are 1260. Next, we are going to liability. Liability part refers to the borrowings. Since the company didn't borrow any money, then we put it zero. Yeah. If the company do borrow money, then we have to put the figure here. Any amount of borrowing, we have to put it here. Alright, so after that, we go to equity. Equity here, there are two parts. First is the capital that we put in. Remember, the capital is 1,000 ringgit. Alright, from the data given. Okay, how about the profit? The profit, remember just now we have calculated the income statement. The profit is 260, yeah? So we put it here. We bring the figure here. So the total is 1,260. And you can see both left and right show the same figure. So it means that you are doing it right. Yeah. So this is the three account statements. This is how you prepare the account statements here. Alright. Sometimes our company might be facing some short of cash, means that we do not have enough cash. So what can the company do to get more money, cash to do business? So first is you might sell some of the assets, or you can borrow money from the bank, or apply a government grant, or request the debtors, means that those who owe you money to pay back you the money. Yeah. So these are some of the methods to get more money for business. And the next, very last topic here is the break-even analysis. Break-even analysis is actually refers to a method of calculation to calculate the minimum sales amount, whether in unit or quantity, to cover the total cost. What is the purpose? To avoid any loss of money. To make sure we are earning profit, we are not facing loss. So when we calculate, we can calculate it using either graphic method or a mathematic method. Yeah, the answer for break-even point can be in quantity or in value, in money value. Okay, here we have one formula. So the formula to calculate break-even point is BE point in quantity equal to fixed cost divided by price minus variable cost per unit. Cost per unit here is not the total cost. And for graphic also you can find one line that represents the sales and one more line will represent the total. Okay, so I will prefer to show you the calculation in mathematics. Okay, you can find this also. This page is also together with the account statement examples here. Okay, so how to calculate the break-even analysis using mathematics. So first of all, of course, you need the data. The data here I have is rental, 25 ringgit for example. Unit cost is 5 ringgit. The selling price of a product is 8 ringgit. So the formula for it is break-even unit equals to fixed cost divided by price minus unit cost. So by referring to this detail, the data here, the fixed cost is 25, yeah, that is the rental. That's the fixed cost that you have divided by, okay, price minus quantity. So, alright, it will look like this. So, how much? So, I will use the Excel to help me to calculate here. Alright, so it equals to 8.33 units. So normally we don't have 8.33 units, right? So we will put it 9 units. Okay, so the minimum quantity to sell for this business is 9 units to avoid them making loss. Alright, so how much in price or in revenue? So it will equals to 8 ringgit multiply with 9, okay, 9 units. So it will be equals to 8 multiply 9, it will be equal to 72 ringgit. Alright, I hope you get it. How about if you have different product for sale? So if you have different product for sale, but the unit cost and the price is similar, then you can calculate it once. If you have different product with different cost and price, then you have to do a few break-even calculation for products with different cost and price. Alright, remember when we have a lot of financial data, we can always use AI to help us to analyze the data, yeah, to find the point such as how to reduce the cost of promotion, how to increase the effectiveness of promotion, and so forth. Thank you for listening. Bye.